That was a real intense one. Greetings, everyone. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you are here. We're going to be playing some Magic the Gathering Arena today, as always. These are some of the highlights from our stream, and I really hope you enjoy the games. If you do really enjoy the program, please don't forget to leave a like and subscription. It really, really helps the channel. So without further ado, let's get to the games. Oh. Folks. Pack one, pick one, Embercleave. Are you kidding me right now? You could also... I mean, there's a lot of really, really good stuff. There's Seasoned Pyromancer. There's Heartless Act. It's just removal is very good. This is still, you know, it's still a limited environment. You have to draft, right? I think Jugon is quite strong. It, you know, just makes all of your plays into bombs. Obviously, Counterspell is insane. Esper Sentinel is pretty good. Ellis trades, right? If you're in multicolor, I think it's fine. Obviously, the lands are fine. Pillar of Flames removal. Like, there's lots and lots of options here, but... not that we're... I don't know that we're going to be in mono red by any means, but I think we are going to go ahead and Embercleave, because that does a lot of stuff in the cube. Unholy Heat, also removal, and keeps us in the same color. Obviously, Elspeth is great. Rabble Rousing is hilarious. Doesn't work so much with Embercleave, but... you know, if you're playing a bunch of creatures for Embercleave, you know, Rabble Rousing does the thing, right? Only does one thing and it's anger? Yeah, well, I mean, maybe. Unholy Heat. Still the pick, I think. Just because it's a shock on creatures and planeswalkers. It does more if we end up on Delirium. I don't even know that we're going to. I also don't think we care. Just, you know, it does things. Removal-y things, as it were. Yeah, I mean, a Braid, just another removal spell in our color. I'm kind of trying to delay choosing a second color here, because I think Embercleave works with just about anything we put with it. But until we kind of see what we're getting past, right? Kind of helps. It does. Patrick Andy, it does. A Braid, I guess. Well, we get some land action. Blightstep Pathway, obviously quite strong. Clifftop Retreat, also strong. Cold Steel Heart lets us stay open, because this can just be a ramp spell in red. We can play Embercleave and a bunch of dragons or whatever. But it also helps fix our colors, should we need to. It's actually kind of close, because we don't actually have a second color yet. Bonder's Enclave, honestly, isn't terrible either. 4 power creatures and Embercleave is a heck of a combo. I think we're just going to stay on the Cold Steel Heart, though. Again, Clifftop Retreat is tempting, but staying open for now until we figure out what sort of things head our way. Oh, boy. So Magma Opus, very tempting. It's just a treasure early. Really, really powerful thing late. But there's also Shakedown Heavy, so we could be, you know, Shakedown Heavy Embercleave. Admittedly, it never hits, right? They just always let us draw a card then. But black and red is kind of good anyway. Maybe it's just supposed to be Elspeth's Nightmare, though. Just more interaction. Destroy a creature, duress, then exile their bin. We get the Shakedown Heavy back, maybe? We probably won't. There's too much stuff in this pack. I mean, there's not enough stuff in this pack. You know, I think we're just gonna go with Shakedown Heavy. Grim Lavamancer is tempting. Because it is just very, very good. It gives us graveyard value immediately. It kind of conflicts with the Unholy Heat just a little bit, though. Which is awkward. This pack has about almost stone nothing for us, though. Outside of Grim Lavamancer. Sulphur Springs, I guess, could be good. Maybe it's Sulphur Springs. Grim Lavamancer ends up being removal a lot of the time. Kind of a must-remove threat. That's actually really close. I think we're going to regret taking the Grim Lavamancer and really wish we had taken the Sulphur Springs later. But for now, we're going to take the Grim Lavamancer. It is a very powerful card. It is a very powerful card. So it's unlikely we end up cutting this. I think this is going to be good enough that, you know, one way or another, this makes the deck, right? It is a card. It is a card, the Geiger. There's Cut Down. Well, darn, Epicure's not bad either. Tax Do, how are you, my friend? Glad you are out there. Yeah, I mean, I guess. The blood token here, quite good. Not quite the direction we would prefer to go. I think we would rather, like, so far, our picks have kind of been directing us more towards mono red than anything, right? Which that's not really the intention here. But that's definitely been the cards we've been getting. Just trying to stay open. I mean, Vishino Pyromancer, again, very, very aggressive. Searing Blood's just a shock, but hits their face. Deal is, we're getting... There's just nothing in this pack. I think we're going to take the Vishino Pyromancer because we need creatures as well. Right? Seize the Storm is equal to the number of instances of sorceries in our graveyard, which we, you know, it's no guarantee we end up with very many of those. And it's a 5-drop. I think we're going to take the Llanowar Waste for the sideboard just to see if we end up splashing. You know, we're definitely not married to black as our second color. Shakedown Heavy isn't even a card that's going to hit very often, right? Rockfall Veil and Embercleave is definitely closer to where we expect it to be. You know, a little green and red. Witch of the Moors is very, very powerful. But we have to gain life. And so far, our deck is definitely not looking like it's going to gain any life. So let's go with the Rockfall Veil, a speculative pick. Well, we are getting some of the black cards back. That is good news. Ophiomancer making Death Touch Snakes is very tempting, but I think no Priest of Oblivion is kind of where we want to be. Hey! Offspring brought me tea and coffee. How about them apples? Thank you, Offspring. Bonders on getting stuff out of our mana base is really, really strong here. I think we're actually going to take the Bonders Enclave. If we ever get to draw cards with our mana base, that's like great. Okay, black. Oh my gosh, we got the Sulfur Springs back. Black definitely looking like the place we want to be. Yawgmoth. Oh boy. Yeah, that was a great wheel. Yawgmoth, very, very strong here. Chandra also very strong, making dudes that could theoretically be sacrificed. We are in Rakdos. We don't actually have any black sacrifice stuff yet, but this would give us a bunch of fodder for it while also feeding our Embercleave, just being a good card in general. Battlecry Goblin making extra goblins every turn. Like, you see this in goblins, but it's also just quite strong. If we get Yawgmoth and Chandra, that'd be sick. So I think we're gonna try and wheel a Chandra is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the Yawgmoth. We're gonna try and wheel a Chandra. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. I don't think Yawgmoth ever wheels. I think it never wheels. Considering we got a Braid and Unholy Heat and Grim Lavamancer and, you know, like, admittedly, nobody passes this. Like, it's unlikely somebody is, like, mono-redding and living the dream, right? So it's possible we get the Chandra back. That, you know, that was pick 1. There's a lot of cards in that pack, right? Take the pack and run. Exactly. Patrick Hendy. Exactly. This is our pack 2, all right? Sounds good. But this is okay. So far, the deck is very awkward, right? We have 7 creatures, you know, for our Embercleave deck. Not quite where we want to be. And yes, Bonder's Enclave can draw from Shakedown Heavy, but that's it so far. Nothing else is big enough to draw. But, you know. Kozilek the Great Distortion. Oh my goodness. Is it in there? Is not currently in the cube list. All right. Well, fine. Well, there's not a lot here either. Portal's interesting. Spearmaul Frenzy, if we were trying to be like mono red, like go to town mono red, but that's not really where I want to be. I'm here for a good time. Golos is, I mean, it's fine, right? But I think we're going to go ahead and Noxious Gearhulk here. It's a good finisher. It's a 5/4 Menace, but it also removes a creature. We gain a little life, you know? So definitely a powerful card. Oh my goodness. Blood Crypt is amazing here, but we got a you know, like whatever, second to last pick Sulphur Springs, so I think this is coming back. So the good news is we're getting everything we want out of this pack, I think. Krenko with Yawgmoth is insane. Murderous Rider is just a really, really good card, right? It's a removal spell on one side, a solid, you know, not an amazing creature, but a fine creature on the other side. When it dies, it just goes right back to the bottom of the library. Then if you ever get a shuffle effect or something, you can end up drawing it again. Remember, we are in limited. I mean, obviously, and then Junji is just, you know, I mean, it's one of the dragon spirits. It's very, very powerful. It's a good thing. It's a huge bomb in limited, right? There is an Ulamog. Let's stick with the theme of our deck. We're gonna go with Krenko. Hopefully some of that stuff comes back because that's insane. Okay, so Liliana the Veil or Zariel. Zariel makes demons to sacrifice, or I'm sorry, devils to sacrifice with Yawgmoth and stuff. Very, very good. But I think this is also just being a removal spell strong. I think it's also just a much better card in general, right? It's a good card. Zariel is kind of a questionable card or whatever, right? Yeah, let's just take it. We very well may get the Zariel back anyway, which I think is kind of the tiebreaker. I don't think we're going to get Liliana the Veil back. Shatter Skull Smashing. The Eater of Virtue here is actually kind of tempting. But I think this is a slam dunk. The Shatter Skull Smashing being a land and a removal spell is just exactly where we want to be. Kozil's Fury, kind of similar, but there's Thoughtseize in the pack, so I don't think we can pass this. Just, it's way too good to even really consider passing. Jatora's Proving Ground is very good. Oh my gosh, Jadar, though. I think the correct pick is Jatora's Proving Ground. For the record, I want to stress that. It's a dual land. It even opens us up to a green splash, which we're kind of set for here for pack 3. But I'm going to take the Jadar because I am an undisciplined mess who just wants to live the dream all the time. Cruelty of Gix. Very likely the one here. Phyrexian Dragon Engine would leave open the Mishra pickup, and we are in. I'm gonna regret that because we're gonna get Mishra later, and we're in Rakdos, right? Oh my goodness! So we got the Battlecry Goblin back, which is great. It's almost a slam dunk, but I think again, getting more out of our mana base is great. Well, we're gonna be getting. We've already got some sacrifice value, and I think we're gonna be getting more sacrifice value. Given what we've seen, we've got sacrifice, or we've got creature sacrifice here. We've got creature sacrifice here. We're looking for other things there. And we've got a whole pack to do it. I mean, I don't think there's any way we play Experimental Frenzy, but we're definitely not playing any of those other cards, so. Yeah, Life of Umazawa. Yeah. Got a strong chance to come back. I mean, Fabled Passage. Help us fix our mana. Our mana is actually looking pretty solid. The Fabled Passage really makes me feel better about not taking the Tri-Land. Oh my gosh. I mean, for Phyrexian Arena, we've even got a fair amount of life gain here. Black was much more open than red. Kind of surprising to me. I don't know that we're playing Eater of Virtue, but it could make the deck still, depending on what keyword abilities and stuff we get. Makeshift munitions. I doubt we get there, but maybe. Leaving the door open is good. Okay, Sanguine Brushstroke. Very good here. Obviously, Urza's insane if we were in that deck, but we're about as far as from away from that deck as we could possibly get. And we don't have the other piece, right? We've got Tyrant of Care Ridges, which isn't terrible either. Rabbit Battery, which isn't terrible. I think we just want the Sanguine Brushstroke. He gives us a Blood Artist. We have another blood token producer as well. There are other blood token producers that could show up. Again, the Tyrant's very, very tempting here. I think we take the Brushstroke. Rabbit Battery was also tempting, but not that tempting. Blood Artist. Almost certainly the pick here. Go Blank, kind of tempting. You know, Mind Rot's kind of strong, but like there's just no way. We're going to pass. We now have Blood Artist and Sanguine Brushstroke. Do you give us another Blood Artist? Living the dream. Oh, man. Oh, man, folks. So Strangle, very, very good. Tenacious Underdog, very, very good. Sheoldred the Whispering One, very, very good. Poseidon, glad you made it. Good to see you. Drago Portuguese, glad you made it. Good to see you. Folks, I really, really want this Sheoldred. I think the correct pick here is the Tenacious Underdog. Just generates a lot of value over the time. We have Yawgmoth to sacrifice it, you know, and everything, right? We also have Embercleave potentially. But you know, there's fun to be had, you know? Oh my goodness. Holy crud. So we've got Morbid Opportunist and a bunch of sacrifice stuff. We've got a Savai Triome, which is great. We've got Sky Sovereign Consul's Flagship here, which is just removal and a finisher all in one. We also have what I think we're going to take is the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. The good news is I think something comes back from this pack. I think something here. We at least get a land. I don't know that we would play the Chromatic Lantern, and we probably won't play the Double Vision. But hopefully one of these comes back. One of these three. I think we're just going to take the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, though. The fact that it's very, very flexible win condition as a 7-drop, but also a 3-drop is just very, very good. No, Flesh Gorger wouldn't wheel. I'm hoping one of the others do. Rekindling Phoenix, very, very good here. With our sacrifice synergies and stuff. Baba Ram, glad you made it. Good to see you. Reckoner Bankbuster, very, very tempting. But I don't think we can pass the Rekindling Phoenix here. Bolas Citadel, actually kind of tempting. But I think it's a pretty clear-cut Phoenix or Bankbuster here. And since we have a lot of 2-drops and everything already, and we have almost no 4-drops, I think we're on Rekindling Phoenix. It's also just good, right? Someone gets Urzameld this pack. Yeah, exactly. And it's not us. Brutal. Agrimauling, giving us another land that does things. Very good. Reassembling Skeleton, actually not terrible, considering what we've assembled here. Not yet, and it doesn't look like we're going to get any. But, you know, Agrimauling, a real nice pickup there. Can't be complaining about that. Korea Blue, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you doing stuff and things. It's true. Inquisition of Kozilek, very strong, but so is Acquisitions Expert here, I think. I think it's probably just going to be the Inquisition. We do have Sanguine Brushstroke and Blood Artist still. The Oketra's Monument, actually tempting, even though we don't have white creatures, just being able to get 1/1s for free all the time. Invoke Despair. We ended up being a lot heavier in black than it originally looked like we would be, so I think this is going to be the pick. Blade of the Oni, actually kind of tempting. Hostile Negotiation's not super tempting, honestly, but Invoke Despair is quite solid. We might not cast it right on 5, but I think it is going to be a card we'd rather cast than any of that other stuff. Cruel Celebrant, not going to cast that. Guess Swiftfoot Boots. Probably not going to cast that either. We got nothing back there. None of it wheeled. I mean, we could Golden Argosy. Just, we don't have enough end of the battlefield effects or anything. We're more likely to want that than any of this other junk. Man, we got almost nothing back. Darn it. Splash for Urza just for the melding? Yeah, exactly, right? Okay. Well. What do we cut here, folks? I don't think we got there on the Eater Virtue, did we? We don't really have enough smaller creatures with abilities. 6 lands, right? We will probably do that, Bubba Rum. But we want to figure out what cards we're cutting first. If we just cut 5 more black cards, then we might be like, well, okay, maybe we want, you know, 8 swamps instead of 7 swamps, or you know what I mean, like something like that. So we want to see what we cut first. Do we cut Cold Steelheart here? Probably. Shatter Skull Smashing, a land. And so is Hagramawing. It's got 17 lands, so we can play 16, right? Since we have these two MDFCs. $16 lands is okay, right? Because then we're actually running 18 lands? I think so. Retract, glad you made it. Good to see you. That is true. I mean, we do have pretty good fixing, though, right? Sulfur Springs, and Fabled Passage. And then, you know, we're playing 18 lands instead of 17. I don't know. Do we have just too much? Do we have too much value or whatever, right? You know, are we supposed to be cutting something like Phyrexian Arena or maybe Null Priest of Oblivion, something like that? Maybe Cruelty of Gix. Cruelty of Gix is so powerful for being able to draw our bombs. You know? Yeah, I mean, maybe just cut the Null Priest. It's kind of nice for being able to bring some of this stuff back for when we're being aggressive. Alright, folks, level with me. Is Cruelty good enough? Is Cruelty of Gix enough? Probably not. Yeah, we're on 16 lands plus the 2. Gix is great, I agree, but what do we... Like... Is it good enough? We're currently only on 15 creatures, so we're a little bit low on creatures. I'm really hesitant to cut another creature. You normally want, like, you know, a couple more than that. Though, admittedly, we do have, like, Sanguine Brushstroke that adds a creature, right? And then, like, Rekindling Phoenix brings things back. I don't know that that's true, Steino. I don't think that's true at all. It could be. Unholy Heat is just a shock, though, right? Well, it's not terrible retract, because we do have like Krenko to make dudes, we have Jadar to make dudes. You know, Rekindling Phoenix keeps coming back, right? We don't really have a lot of sack outlets, Mercurio Blue. We do have Yawgmoth. Yeah, Reassembling Skeleton might not be getting there. So, like, that bring Gix back. Josh Scream Gaming, glad you made it. Good to see ya. I don't think we can cut the cleave here. I think it's one of our primary win conditions, right? See, maybe. Like, I kind of want the Null Priest of Oblivion here. We're now down to 14 creatures after cutting the Reassembling Skeleton. It is, Bubblegum. Oh my gosh, for real, Mercurio Blue. That was kind of the... That was why I picked it originally. Yeah, I mean, Null Priest might be better than Viashino Pyromancer, though. How does that look? And then what about... Like, do we need Liliana and a Phyrexian Arena? Is one of those... Like, would we rather have Viashino Pyromancer over either of those? Yeah, I mean, we ended up... We're quite black heavy, so the Invoke Despair shouldn't be too bad, but it is still black, 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 right? We have Makeshift Munitions. So we could have Makeshift Munitions, Reassembling Skeleton back in. And cut... How do you folks feel about that? So like something like this. Cut... I don't even know. Like... Thoughtseize. I don't know. I don't even know what we would do there. I mean, Makeshift Munitions and Yawgmoth gives us a lot of sacrifice effects then. Which helps a lot if we're going to have Blood Artist and Sanguine Breaststroke. But there's no way we're putting Golden Argosian over Invoke Despair, right? Golden Argosian just isn't even that good in this deck. Returning the creatures to our hand really doesn't do anything, right? Just the only one that would really benefit would be Null Priest. Acquisitions Expert. And I guess Noxious Gear Hulk could do, you know, go back to hand, but I think by the time you have a Noxious Gear Hulk down, you want to be attacking them with it, right? Most of the time. So I don't think Argosy is good enough. I think Arena is a little slow for what we're trying to do. I think we're going to cut that. All right, so I think that means we're going to go down to like 8 and 4. How does that look, folks? The only double red cards are Rekindling Phoenix and Embercleave. All right, let's send it. Let's go. Okay. And Rabbit Battery. Good lord. Folks, the so far everything has been really aggressive. Has anyone else played this cube before? Is the entire format this aggressive? This is much more aggressive than most cube decks cube formats we've played before. Okay, Rabbit Battery. Equips onto Selfless Savior and gets in. You got me. So, I mean, you know. I guess we're going to Blood Artist. No attacks. Hang on for dear life. And they have a removal spell for our Blood Artist? They do. Okay. You got me. Well... they're eating our lunch, folks. They're eating our lunch. I guess we're going to go ahead and Grim Lavamancer Jadar. Try and get a little bit of aggression on our own side of the board here just a bit. Also set up for things like Yawgmoth or the makeshift munitions. Things like that. Blade Splicer shows up. Rabbit Battery. Unequips. What is going on there? Well, reassembling skeleton. Come on down. I think we are going to go ahead and attack here and just abrade the 3/3. Yeah, I was going to say they get to take care of the blocker if they the 2/2 if they want, but it gets the Selfless Savior off the board, and that Selfless Savior is ready to be very, very annoying. See Timmy play control. Good to see ya. Okay. So we're gonna block. Our opponent going to save it with a lightning bolt. Okay. These things are fine. We're not giving up a ton there, but I guess if they have a way to exile from our graveyard or something, they are. Lay down arms. My lord, folks. They got a lot of really good stuff over there. All right. Well, 2 damage. Come on in there. Yep. Red, white, aggressive, lay down arms deck. Yeah, it's a little strange, no doubt, but... oh, boy. Laura, glad you made it, my friend. We are, in fact, Cuban. Darn it. Man. Not excited about this, but we are going to take the 4. Boondoggle, glad you made it. Got a meatball ricotta pizza with buffalo wings. Wow. That sounds great. Captain Love, glad you are out there, my friend. Hey, don't mind if I do. Well, shakedown heavy. Opponent elects to take the 6. Rekindling Phoenix, come on down. Pass that turn. Okay. I left back that 2/2 there. That was not ideal. Really wish we still had a Blood Artist on the battlefield. We do have Sanguine Brushstroke to come down and get another one. We also have Null Priest of Oblivion that can eventually bring one back. We don't have the mana for that yet. We do have Phyrexian Flesh Gorger that can come down and be aggressive, gain us some life and stuff back. We have Liliana the Veil, which would cause them to sacrifice a valuable creature. We have Hagra Mauling, which could be used for either a land drop or more likely a removal spell right now. Opponent hovering our rekindling, hovering our rekindling. Yeah, just 2 lands into Gear Hulk is not bad. Castle Embreth shows up. The opponent scoops them up. Woo! Lay Down Arms is a heck of a card, but it loses a lot of equity if you aren't being aggressive. Right? Or, I mean, if you are being aggressive. That doesn't mean it's worthless, right? But you have to be a lot more careful with how you spend it. And I don't think our opponent was particularly careful there. Yeah, well, I guess. Blood Artist, come on down. Menace has Voracious Hydra to kill our Blood Artist. Awesome. Does playing cube make you a square? Yes. Not offensive to name, it does. But that is not an intimidating thing to me at all. Always kind of been a bit square. Played 2 cube and didn't enjoy them at all. Every game felt like playing versus a constructed deck. Bummer, easy 6. Glad you made it, my friend. They can feel that way. But at least, again, that is, to me, that's kind of one of the big advantages of it. Is that it does feel like you're playing against a constructed deck, right? But it's, so you get to play constructed, but you don't. Interesting. But you don't get to, or you don't have to feel like, you know, like most limited formats, you end up attacking with vanilla 3/3s for 3 and whatever, right? So getting to play with these powerful cards that maybe didn't quite make it in standard and stuff, like makeshift munitions, there wasn't really a deck for that. There's definitely some equity there, right? All right, they let us draw a card. 9 more days until I start my Christmas shopping, right? Glad you made it, my friend. Good to see you. I think we are going to go ahead and send away a swamp. I think the Gutter Bones Tenacious Underdog line is very, very tempting. So is just getting down to a Kindling Phoenix, but I'm afraid they might have exile-based removal. So I think we're going to do it like this. Because, you know, it does... The biggest problem with Gutter Bones is sometimes you can add it to your hand, but you can't quite get it back. Right? Or you can't get it back onto the battlefield. But this way you can. Right? So I guess... Yeah, Minazanti realizes this is a losing battle. Sometimes you get unlucky. That's just, you know, kind of the way the ball bounces, though, right? I think we will start on Hagermon. His parents grounded him. I see what you did there. All right. Well, opponent gets a Landarino. We are not on mono black, but so far we have only black cards. We're gonna go ahead and discard this Veldarn Epicure because we can't cast it anyway. Oh my gosh, we were really hoping we might have gotten it when we were, you know, whatever it was, pick 6 in pack 1 or something. We eventually got our Shakedown Heavy, or maybe pick 5, something like that. That was one of the cards we were really hoping to pick up, but didn't even see it. Didn't even see it. Oh, well, now you show up. So, Sanguine Brushstroke. Does our opponent have a counterspell? Blood Artist. 2E Oldie Battlefield. Yeah, folks, we're actually going to make them sacrifice that wall. That's not exactly the play of the century by any means. But we know they have lands that are spares. We get to pressure their life total a little bit because of the Blood Artist. Wow, okay. Fine. But, yeah, we also get to kind of clear the way for our Tenacious Underdog to get it. Now, it turns out they had a flash blocker. that could trade with Tenacious Underdog, but we're gaining life. And with a Blood Artist on the battlefield, oh boy, Tenacious Underdog is a heck of a card. Well, shoot, folks. Look at that. Embercleave is a heck of a card. All right.
I'm tired of your secrets.
She's tired of your secrets. Mirari Conjecture goes away. Opponent excludes. All right, we've been excluded. No attacks. Thinking I want to box Dominaria Remastered. The chance to get a color, any color tutor is worth it alone. I mean, that's strong. Yeah, Boondoggle. Touch of the Spirit Realm gets our Blood Artist. Bummer. How about Cruelty of Gix? On chapter 1. Show me your hand. Nothing. No creatures or planeswalkers. There is a Sublime Epiphany. I don't know that we want to discard our Embercleave. I don't think we do. Did I get the fancy new Urza's Saga lands? Not yet. Okay, so we get anything. Could just be a land, you know? But we know that our opponent has Sublime Epiphany. So, Invoke Despair we can't actually cast yet. I think we're just going to go ahead and go for, like, Krenko. So it's not, like, the most amazing thing, but on the current board, it's crazy good. You know, our opponent could also potentially have a... All right. They allow it to resolve. Okay. Opponent cycles away Rafine's Tower. You got it. That's brave of the opponent. Unless they have a removal spell. Maybe they drew another removal spell. Hard evidence. Sure. Okay. So... going to be a Tenacious Underdog. And Fabled Passage. Go after a land. All right. Krenko, get in. What do you say, grosso modo? They allow it. Fine. Clue gets sacrificed. Brainstorm happens. Okay. Cards go back. I think we're going to Embercleave now. Sandy Lightning, glad you made it, my friend. Good to see you. And we're going to equip it onto Tenacious Underdog. Yes, growing the Krenko 10th Street Kingpin is amazing, but that they already want to handle this card. So this makes it much more difficult on them. Ledger Shredder, darn it, glad you made it, my friend. How you doing, Sandy Lightning? Opponent probably going to have to do their junk this turn. So, yep. Combat. Go for it. Tell me they didn't get like Wandering Emperor or something. That would be vicious. Settle the wreckage? Golly, that would be crazy. So they're going to counter, bounce, draw. Mythical Zebra, glad you are out there. Lurking away. I will get to your in-character redemption after the no hat redemption. I don't want to disrupt anybody's channel point redemptions, you know? Well, I mean, yes, Poseidon, but that's what I'm saying. They don't get to do all the things they want to do there, right? Okay. So then we will Yawgmoth, Acquisitions Expert. Ledger Shredder will do all of its stuff. Yep. Opponent, you're losing everything, so they might as well get counters. They do. But I think they also recognize that. Regen.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Do we sacrifice the Acquisitions Expert right now to get rid of the crab? I think we do, actually. So I guess we should have done that before discarding the Tenacious Underdog, because that might have, yeah, I was gonna say if we draw into a land, we could have discarded that. I think that's okay though, because we're fine. Well, it gets in front of their stuff, right? We're ready to turn the corner. If they elect to attack and kill Liliana, which is wise, we get to Embercleave up our Krenko and go to town, and they have to be afraid of that, right? So if they hold the crab back, they get to kind of get in front of it. They don't take as much damage. All right, well, Tenacious Underdog. Embercleave. We're doing a lot of damage. The question is, are we killing a Ledger Shredder this second? Or are we, I mean, I guess we can just wait until it's on the stack at the very least. You know, their second spell. Because they're not going to grow out of nowhere, right? Rock made Arceus get comfy. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Redemptions are stacking up. Redemptions are stacking up. Okay. And Midnight Clock, putting more counters on. That you're gonna need a lot more than that. 3 life is not very many lives. Putting an hour counter on is not very confidence boosting there, opponent. Yeah, I think we've got him. Passing through the turn. Yep. Gotcha. All right. GG, opponent. GG. Don't mind if I do. Probably a keepable hand, but not an amazing one. A little slow off the ground and not much removal, but it is powerful, so I guess we're going to keep it. Sure. Go after that. Uh oh. And sure. A black mana source. I think we are just going to go ahead and do that. And then, are we going to Krenko here? Shakedown Heavy or Liliana? I think Liliana is, in general, the harder threat to remove. So I guess we're going to go for that. Send away the Invoke Despair. We're not thrilled about having to send away the Invoke Despair, but it is the one that's going to be hardest to cast, given our current situation. Mephit's Enthusiasm is the perfect answer to what we've got. Though, admittedly, it's not... like, the fact that we can then Shakedown Heavy means that it isn't the... you know, it coming down later will mean potential card advantage and stuff, right? Okay, well, our opponent, apparently on Mardu control. Shakedown Heavy. I think we will use this as a land drop so that next turn we can Embercleave, potentially. Because we would have 1, 2, so 3, 4. No, I guess we would be 1 mana short. Immortal Sun. Wow, they went after Liliana, even though they... Maybe... Alright, well, let's do this, I guess. They take the beats. And the beat goes on. Well, let's draw a card, try and make a land drop here. We, in fact, do not. Grim Lavamancer comes down anyhow. Our opponent draws an extra card. And a Braid would clean up that Immortal Sun pretty nicely as well. Opponent's already gotten rid of their Farewell. So I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. Rekindling Phoenix. Golly. Chandra Torch of Defiance. Platinum Angel. Even the Evolved Sleeper. They got some humdingers over there. Pilgrim's Eye. Sure. And the Evolved Sleeper grows. Well, fine. Land. Combat. Get in with the Shakedown Heavy. Our opponent does allow us to draw a card. So we... Cruelty of Gix? Or Yawgmoth? Just Cruelty of Gix, I guess. Yeah, let's have a look at that hand. Just another land. Darn it. So they have it all. But it is also all on the battlefield. Showdown of the Scalds. Doing the thing. Opponent doing lots of math. Remember, all their spells are cheaper. Oh. All right. Well. I hope you're still out there, Mythical Zebra, because I'm about to get into character, because the other redemptions are past. And, you'll never guess what time it is. It is time for the next 5 minutes for me to be in character. Okay. Counter goes on. Etogmaska comes down, and then we're gonna go ahead and go after the Pilgrim's Eye. Yes, yes, indeed. Long live Ireland, dropping in that subscription. Welcome back, my good man. Welcome back. My. Glad you are out there. Indeed. Thank you, my friend. How has the Arcs been lately? Indeed. Dad joke, you say? My. What has 1 head, 1 foot, but 4 legs? Scum 7. Oh, we meant to draw a card there. My. Unfortunate. Well, well, of course, it's a bed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very tempted to go after the Rekindling Phoenix, but perhaps an Abrade is good enough. Go after the Immortal Sun. Probably. Yes, I suppose. That will be that'll be the long and the short of it, so to speak. The Rekindling Phoenix, mightily awkward. Okay. Shakedown heavy. Meathook is, in fact, still a monster. It's true. Well, let's go ahead and do a wee bit of damage to our opponent's face. Just a touch. Just a touch. We are going to lose a life or two as well. But, not enough for lethal yet, right? They can level up a couple of times, but that's, oh well, maybe. Because we can Noxious Gear Hulk next turn. That spends all of their black mana, right? I believe. If they have a burn spell. Oh my. Oh my. Kindling Phoenix comes in, as does the Evolved Sleeper. We drop down to that 1 point of life area. Not thrilling. Well, I suppose it's going to be the Ophiomancer. Actually, yes. Well, let's see what we draw. There's no way they allow us to kill them. I think that would be folly. They do, in fact, not wish to die. So, yes, these things are good. These things are good indeed. So, let's go ahead and Noxious Gear Hulk. Away the Evolved Sleeper. Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, yes. Oh, thank heavens. Ah, yes. For a minute there, I thought we messed up and didn't compute the interactions correctly. Ophiomancer will make a 1/1. Riordan, my boy. Glad you are here. Good to see you. Big Daddy at 3 points of life. Oh, yes. Torrential Gearhawk. That's a machine. Oh, no. Steel Seraph give lifelink? Does give lifelink. Ay, ay, ay. If they have a way of removing our Embercleave, we die, right? Maybe not. So I guess let's do those things and move Embercleave over onto the Ophiomancer. And then attack with everyone. Blocks. Oh my. Oh my. Good heavens, folks. Gutter Bones. I believe. That very yellow guy. How was your day, the very yellow guy? Down to 5? Yes. Enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter. I suppose. Darn it. This monocle is going to be the death of me, folks. It's going to be the death of me. Well, a mountain shows up and history of Benalia. My. Swamp man. Glad you made it. Glad you made it. Ah! It's in my eyeball. Yeah. That was unpleasant. A mountain. Don't mind if I do. I believe we will land and shake down heavy and hold on for dear life, I suppose. Please don't have an answer to our shakedown heavy. Blade historian, you say? That is quite disgusting. Well, I believe we will block. Yes. Yes. And play a Sulphurous Springs and then pass. I am terrified of the history of Benalia stuff. Oh no, that's a Knight Counselor. I did not realize that was a Knight Counselor. The fact that it is a knight is very bad indeed. Do we trade here just to not die? I'm afraid of dying. Dying is bad. They could have Embercleave, and then we just died anyway, right? Oh my. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and take all of this damage. Oh, a Braid. That's a good one. I really wish we had had that last turn. My. Yes, indeed. No attacks. Good lord. Hold on for dear life. Portable hole. Comes down and gets our reassembling skeleton. And Luminarch Aspirant comes down with a 1/1 counter. How awkward. Well, the counter goes on the 3/3, and then they attack, right? With everything? Yes, of course they do. Alright, well, we are forced to abrade a 3/3 and block a 2/2, and then say that it has been an absolute blast being in character, folks, but all good things must come to an end, and this is one of them. So I will do that, and this. Say thank you for that redemption. No attacks. A land gets us Noxious Gearhulk, which is very good. Oh no! I did not Great F get. I did not. Sorry, my friend, I missed out on that. Okay. A little bit of enlisting. We will double block, I guess. Actually, that was wrong. We could have killed it with the Grim Lavamancer next turn, which would have been good. Thank heavens. Noxious Gearhulk. Come on down, get rid of that stupid Luminarch Aspirant. Yes. And I am going to go ahead and attack, because we need more cards. Otherwise, we're going to die. Harley Randy. Yes. Yes. Would like Little John. Alright. Little John it is. Steel Seraph. That's not good news. Flying gets pumped. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Down to 1. They can just take the damage. No! All right. Well, we'll down an epic here. We need to get a removal spell. That is not it. Our opponent rightly ascertains that they can just take the damage. We drop to 6 and then die, folks. No! I wonder if we were supposed to trade off the Shakedown Heavy earlier. Maybe? Maybe? It was a good run. We started off 0-2.